Hello there, cheeky potatoes. I hope you're doing well today. I just thought I'd let you know that I've decided to make a mini series. So I've probably mentioned before that I've got really bad posture problems, and I started filming things about it, and I thought this is going to be way too long to fit into one video, and I can't explain everything in one go and you're going to be so bored. Please leave a comment down below if there's any problems that you've ever had and if they've ever been fixed.
Just any comment about anything. I like saying hello to everyone and reading comments, and I think it's just really fun and it's a fun time. So
I just wanted to explain how I got to know about what problems I actually have. So I would count myself as I have all of my arms, legs, everything. I've got every body part, and yeah, I would say that I'm healthy. There's nothing wrong with me in that way, but I am a fitness, and I would say that my body isn't very functional. It's not working the best way that it can be working. You might all be thinking, you're sitting at home, you might feel like you're really healthy, or you might either feel like there's something wrong with you but you don't actually know what it is, or you always get a bit of pain but you're not too sure what it is and the doctor says that you're alright. So the history behind my problems are, I'll insert a clip and show you what I mean posture wise. So for this video I wanted to explain the history. For the next video I've done is just explaining what these problems can lead up to and how that might interfere with just normal life, or how you could get injured from this. So first of all, I've always known there's been a problem with my legs since I've been a little child, because my mum always said that I walked with my feet out, and I do remember that I thought it was normal because when you walk like that you do think it's normal, and I've always kind of noticed that it's been difficult for me to run and do things like PE. They were always hard for me at school, but I always tried the hardest that I could. But every time I was putting an effort into these things, I found it was quite difficult still for me, and I just didn't know why. So the next stage is where I started the gym when I was 21, so I've been going to the gym for over 2 years now, and some of the exercises, I knew I had leg problems, but some of them lunges and things like that were becoming really difficult for me, and I was told to do body weight squats and something just did not feel right. You would know the difference between if something is if you're just unfit and you're working out your body, or if something just feels wrong, and it just something didn't feel right with my legs, the same as it never has, but working out in the gym is a bit different to maybe some sports. So then one of the trainers at my gym, so most of the trainers, some of them that work there only have a very basic, just personal trainer for qualification. The trainer that I have now, called Dan, he's a sports and performance coach, so he knows what he's talking about. Dan knows everything, basically. I asked him a question, and I was telling him about how my feet stick out and how I was finding it difficult to do a lot of the things. So he introduced me to foam rolling out my quads and things like that, because they were really tight at first, but then I carried on doing that. I'm still carrying on doing all of my foam rolling and stretching, and then we looked into the hip flexors, and then we found that maybe it was something else, because then I went into squat stretches and trying to get my back stretched out, and then we looked into there's all sorts of things, but I do yoga as well, so my mobility is always increasing. We've looked into ankle stretches as well. I changed to him. I used to have a different person, and his knowledge was a bit more basic. He just did sports science, but he didn't really have any experience of being a personal trainer. So Dan, he tried to get me to do like goblet squats, but with a ball, and I'll put it up somewhere what that looks like. So it's basically like you've got the support with the gym ball behind your back. And then he wanted me to progress, and to test it out, he would tell me to get on the floor and do a squat and try and hold that position, and I couldn't even hold the position on the floor, like nowhere near it, like even with my foot sticking out, I like basically fell over backwards. So when I say that, I mean like, okay, I mean just like this, but with my bum all the way down to the floor. And he said that I could hold on to a kettlebell. Even the kettlebell was not heavy enough to hold me down because my body just did not want to get into that position. And then we looked into so many banded stretchers as well. And banded stretchers are really good for fixing lots of other problems. And then we looked into like stretching the piriformis and everything like that. And then it came to about maybe a few weeks ago, and he was like, I can't always get hold of Dan, he's a really busy guy. It came to me explaining like, I know that this is my problem. So every time I'll do a squat, say like assisted, held on to something, this leg, so when you do a squat, your knee is meant to be over your toes. This leg is fine. This leg, it literally feels like something's restricting it, and it just felt like that all the time. But I kind of understood a bit more, like watching YouTube videos really helps me, and I understood that it was that one of my legs, I didn't know the exact word for it, but I've showed you in another video before where I've been doing my stretches where it just will not like turn in. So say if I'm on the floor and it's a supine squat, so your back is on the floor but your legs are like on the wall, I had no internal rotation. So I showed my trainer Dan, and he said that's some kind of impingement in the hip. So I began to look on Google like hip impingement exercises and all of that. And then through Alan Thrall's channel, which he is a fitness guy, he's really into strength training, there was a video and there was a guy on there called Shane Dowd, and he was talking about something called femoral acetabular impingement, FAI, which is meant to be a problem to do with the hip sliding about it won't slide about in the socket basically. And so I thought all of those symptoms, all of the other ones about my feet sticking out, and I do have those problems, but it didn't quite match with what I thought that I had. And all of these ones that he was explaining that he had, like the really pinching down the hip. So I just get it in this hip here. So I get it here, and if I do anything where my leg is really up here but I'm on the floor or in yoga or anything like a pigeon pose, it really pinches and it feels like there's something stopping my leg from moving. And everything that he was saying, I thought, wow, this matches with everything that I've got. So I went to the doctors. But before I went to the doctors, I began to do his stretches and everything that he does to unlock the hip and to let the hip move about, the femur move about in the joint, and that actually started to work a bit. Like I feel like my leg is a lot less sore, like the top of my quad just there. If I would push it down, so if I would put a little bit of pressure just like this, that would be really sore for me, which I didn't even realise before. But now I've been really trying to roll that out with a barbell and just crush the top of my leg basically, which is all painful, but I'll do anything to try and make my legs a bit better. yeah, so I'd been doing that, something with a kettlebell, a banded stretch. I'll link the video so you can watch what I'm talking about. But my legs have started to get a little bit better, I'd say, from that. And then I went to the doctors and explained the situation and what I thought was going on, and I was sent for an x-ray, and they actually found in my x-ray that there was nothing wrong with my hip joint, and that there was something, they said, a congenital harmless abnormality. So I'm not sure what they meant by that, but I do have an appointment at the doctor's about that, which I'll also update you on, but they just didn't really say I needed an appointment or anything. So also, before I got the x-ray results, but after the x-ray thing, after I spoke to Dan, my trainer, one of the other trainers that recommended this place, that's like a modern Chinese Chinese medicine place, and there's a woman there that does bone manipulation, so I think it's a bit like what a chiropractor would do, which is moving your bones about. And she said that my pelvis is twisted. The next video that I have is of me like doing different like positions and that, so I can explain to you really what is wrong with my body. And the reason why I wanted to do this mini series is because there might be some of you that have the same problems, and you might want to know how to like try and fix these. Maybe you might be able to see that you can still do exercises and things like that. The next videos are like current problems, updates on my treatments, and we'll see how it goes from there. And I've also got a workout filmed. It's not my full workout because it's very, very, very busy in the gym, and I don't have a lot of space on my memory card as well. And I hope you enjoy all of that to come. I'll see you all soon, and I hope you're all having fun. I also have another idea soon, which I'm going to let you guys know about, and I hope that you'll be excited about that. So see you next time, cheeky potatoes.